see if there's any hinge there that's holding it in. And we're just inching it away, and we finally get it. Notice I didn't force anything. You don't want to force it. You will break something if you force it. Okay, the reason we're replacing this hinge cover plate is the left hinge actually broke away. And sometimes when the hinges break, it's not just the hinge that breaks, it's actually the plate, the back of the screen, that plastic plate that snaps. And that's where the hinges connect to. So if that snaps, it's just as bad as if you broke a hinge. One of the parts needs to be replaced. So what I'm going to do now is get the screen out. We're going to get the screen out of the picture. We don't want the screen in there for the risk of us damaging it or any other reason. And the way to get the screen out is attack it from the sides. There's 4 screws or a couple screws sometimes holding in the screen from the side. And once you get those 4 tiny screws out on each side, the screen should just pop right out. So we'll see if that happens here. This laptop has a webcam. Sometimes a webcam makes it a little tougher too. Okay, let's get the other side now. It's always little tiny Phillip head screws holding them in from the side, holding the screen in. And you'll see how the screen will pop right out once we get those screws out. Now these screws, it doesn't matter which, if you put them back in different holes, because there's no glue on them like the front bezel screws. Okay, now we're going to flip that screen up, see if it'll pop out. Now it did pop out, but if you noticed, that ribbon cable going up to the top of the screen was attached to the webcam. It is not meant to be yanked out like I did. Luckily it didn't break. It actually just popped out of the connector there. But you got to be careful when you're dealing with webcams to unhook the ribbon cable from the webcam before you pull the screen down. So that was a no-no what I just did, but I'll keep it in the film anyway. And then I'm going to squeeze both sides of the LCD connector right where it connects to the screen. There's 2 little connectors. You got to squeeze them and pull outwards, and then that will disconnect the LCD cable from the screen. And we're going to disconnect the LCD cable from the inverter. Now there's the screen and the inverter still connected. We're just going to take that, put it to the side for now. Going to get that big LCD cable out of the way. And then see what we have to do to actually get this back plate off. And one of the things we need to do is get under the bottom of the computer, because if you just notice there, the wires for the wireless antenna were coming up and they actually attach to the back plate of the screen. We got to pull those wires through the bottom of the laptop and get them out of the picture. And then we put the new back plate on, it will have new wireless antennas, and we have to feed them through the computer. Okay, there's 2 holding the wireless card in here, or attached to the wireless card here. And then there's like 3 other ones that are meant for like a Bluetooth and maybe a WAN card, which this computer does not have, but the antennas are still there. So we got to pull like 5 wires through the hole here. Okay, can't really see from this angle, but you'll be able to see as I pull it out. Okay, I'm just pulling them through the bottom of the laptop, and then I got them all up to the surface there. There's like 5 or 6 wires. Now when I take the back cover off, those wires are going to come with it. Now the hinges on this computer are actually okay. It's that back cover that's broken. And it actually breaks right at this point, which is where it connects to the hinge. When a screen gets damaged like that, one of two things is going to break: the hinge or the back screen plate. And the back screen plate sometimes is a cheaper plastic, and it might tend to break more than the hinge. So then you got to replace the whole back plate. So just keep an eye open for that, and realize that's not always going to be the hinge that you got to replace. Okay, we're going to get this one out of the way and pull the new one in. Now you may be asking, where did I get the new one? Well, I'm going to show you right here. And you guessed it, eBay. Now how do you find out where to get it and what to type in? Well, I typed in Dell 1521 back plate to start off. See if any results came up. Nothing. So just took out the word plate, because maybe that's not the correct way of saying what that is, and just kept the word back. And now we find one here that says LCD back cover. Now I didn't know the model number of this thing, but if you look at that black one where it says back cover, it's a YY039. So I typed